Hey guys, how you doing? Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free NFL previews and predictions for week number 4. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the ATS Calculator. Come and check out the ATS Calculator today. In fact, let's go to the game between Atlanta and Jacksonville, create the ATS results, and here's what we think the line should be. The away team winning 5.9 to 41.7, and that's how you can use the ATScalculator.com today. In fact, you want to go look at that Buffalo-Miami game, and all you got to do is go to Miami against Buffalo, and then once you do that, create the ATS results, and you will get the answer right here at the bottom of the page, and it's at the ATScalculator.com. All right, let's take a look at NFL. Week number 3 is now in the books, and so far on the season, NFL favorites have won 60.5% of the games, but only covered 48% of the National Football League games through 3 weeks. And looking at the underdogs, they had a good week in week number 1. They won 68.8% of the games. However, 50% in week number 2. And then the favorites took control in week number 3, winning 68.8% of the games straight up and against the point spread. And when it comes to the over-unders, so far on the season in the campaign of the 2023 season, 54.2% of the games have gone under the total, while in week 3, 68.8% of the games have gone under. Let's take a look at the overall standings of the NFL teams. Scoring averages on offense and defense. No surprise, the Miami Dolphins, your number 1 scoring offense in the league, averaging 43.3 points per game. Buffalo coming in second, 13, almost 2 touchdowns behind Miami here at 30.3. And, you know, when you score 70 points on a game, that's going to help your average, right? And San Francisco, we thought San Fran on defense would be a little bit better when it comes to the scoring averages. Well, they come in number 3, and they're number 5 on defense, but I'll get to defense in just 1 second. Seattle, Geno Smith-led team at 29 points per game. They come in at number 4. And the Dallas Cowboys, along with the LA Chargers, are your number 5th ranked team at 28.6%. Hey, did you have the Cleveland Browns as your number 1 defense in the league? Well, according to week number 3, or after week number 3, they're only giving up 10.67 points against a game. Buffalo coming in at number 2, 11.6. Dallas Cowboys, probably want to forget about week number 3, lost to the Arizona Cardinals. They come in at number 3 at 12.6. Kansas City coming in at 4 at 13.3. And there's San Francisco giving up 14 points per game. And if you ever want to see, you know, sometimes when you're handicapping, you want to see, okay, this offense against that defense, what's the ranking? So if you go to your matchup right here, and let's say we go to that Thursday night football game between Detroit and the Green Bay Packers, you got the 12th ranked offense in Detroit up against the 13th ranked defense in the Packers, who give up 20.6 points per game. And from a Green Bay perspective, I didn't expect this. The number 8th offense against the number 15th defense of the Detroit Lions. And that's a good tool you can use here at atsstats.com. Once you go to your dashboard, and inside your dashboard, go to, I believe it's Ron's favorites, go to scoring averages, and it's going to take you right there to your scoring averages, and then you can check out the indicators to help you with your handicapping. All right, let's get to week number 4. In fact, before we get to week 4, one thing I like to do is I like to look at situational handicapping and the roles that different teams play in the sports betting markets. I'm talking about home favorites, home underdogs, road favorites, road underdogs. And so far this year, 60.4% of the games have gone to the favorites. But look at this, road favorites in the National Football League through 3 weeks. 68.4% of the road favorites have won, and favorites of minus 3.5 to 6.5, they're 10-5 straight up and 60% against the point spread. And when you look at the over-unders, I do have some interesting numbers. If you scroll right down here, you can see that home teams that have a total of 41.5 to 44, 28.5 to the over, and 4 and 10 to the under. So you can see right there. So if you do the math real quick, that's what, 72%, 72% to the under. So yeah, unders have a home teams that have a total of 41.5 to 44 on the bookmakers total numbers. You can see that 4 and 10 to the under this season. All right, let's get to those games for week number 4. We'll kick it off at Lambeau, where the Lions coming off a big win over at Atlanta. Hey, you know what? Atlanta's a good football team. They won 20-6. And keep in mind, Detroit won week 1 at Arrowhead against Kansas City in that opener on Thursday Night Football. And now they're a 1.5 point road favorite. When was the last time Detroit was a road favorite in Green Bay? I'd have to look up the database for that one. 45.5 is the total. And we're going to lean with the Lions as a 3-point win here. 24.7 to 21.3, the over-under at 46.1. So we do have this game going a tad over the total. And looking at the line value, so what we do here at the Raymond Report, we take a look at perception versus reality, right? This is perception, that's reality. We had this line listed at -3. The reality is Detroit is -1.5, so you're getting value this Thursday night against the Packers. Atlanta off that loss to the Lions, take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who lost, you know what, they got embarrassed against the Houston Texans at home, 37-17. And for all the survivor pool, probably, you know, last year was it Indianapolis that went up there, and the Jacksonville beat Indianapolis last year. So this year they returned the favor. They lost to the Texans, and you can see right here, 21.3 for Jacksonville, 20.1 for Atlanta. The over-under landing on 41.4, and we did have the Jaguars listed at -3, so perception versus reality is a fair market value if you like Jacksonville this weekend. Cincinnati Bengals off that big win on Monday night against the LA Rams. You know what? The LA Rams are not a bad football team. Keep in mind, last year they didn't have a good season. Could have been the Super Bowl hangover. They're just 2 years replaced from winning a Super Bowl, so how bad can the Rams really be? Maybe they just got struck with some bad luck last year with injuries, but going into this one on Sunday, Tennessee, a 2-point home underdog against the Titans. Sorry, not the Titans, the Bengals. And we have the score 19.7 for Tennessee, 19.3 for Cincinnati. The over-under landing on 39.1, so a hair under the total. And we're going to give the Bengals a 48.4% chance of winning. And I had the value index listed at -4.6 for Cincinnati. So Cincinnati coming on a discount here against the Titans on the road as a favorite. All right, Washington taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles winning handily on Monday Night Football against Tampa Bay. I got them listed here at -3 on my value index, and you can see they're 8.5 against the Commanders. This is an NFC division rivalry, so a rivalry game. And look at the line value you're getting with the Commanders here. I had them listed at +9, and you're getting +8.5, so pretty close to fair market value. I got Philly winning this one, 27-18, the over-under at 46.02. So we do have this game going over the total by a field goal, and we'll see what happens this Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field. LA Rams taking on the Indianapolis Colts. So this will be, I wonder if they went home or they stayed in Indianapolis. You know, a lot of flying here for the Rams on Monday night in Cincinnati. Going back to LA, now back to Indianapolis. Colts a 1-point favorite. I had them listed at -7.7. So you know what? Another game where you're getting value, but what's the bookmakers telling you by only putting them -1, right? LA Rams off this game, off a 19-16 loss. I had them listed at +5. So pretty much a pick'em line here when you look at the -1 line. I do have the Colts though winning 24.8 to 20.7, the over-under at 45.6. And the Colts coming off a win, a big upset win over the Baltimore Ravens, 22-19. And you know what? Indy looked pretty good in that game. And for the Rams, they're on a 2-game losing streak now, and they're off that loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. Tampa Bay Buccaneers off that loss to the Eagles, 25-11 was the final, while the Saints, they, you know what? They probably deserved the better fate in that game at Lambeau, but they came out on the short end. 18-17 was the final, and close games for the Rams. You look at the week one, I think there was that week 1 game where they lost by less than a field goal. So you can see the Rams in every game. I mean, the Saints are in every game, just not getting the edge to pull over. I think they did though get the edge in week 1 against Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee they won. -3 is the line here. I had them listed at -3.2. So you know what? Fair market value. And another division game here. 21.2 for the Saints, 19.2 for the Buccaneers. The over-under landing on 40.48. And you know what? I'm going to see what the calculator likes on this one for the total. I think the total is very interesting. Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and defensively, you know, the Saints have been really good. So let's see what the total has here on the ATS calculator. Survey says, and we have 41.99 with the away team winning 4.1. We got Tampa Bay winning this one. So what did I say? 41.99 a Gretzky, and we have what, 40.4, and the total is 40.5. Wow, so really tight. But according to this one, the calculator, the ATS calculator has it going over, but the analytics has it going under. So very tight numbers here from the bookmakers, but 21.2, 19.2 for the Saints, and should be a good one at the I still call it the Superdome. All right, Baltimore taking on the Cleveland Browns. Here's another good game. Number 1 ranked defense in the Cleveland Browns on points against. -2 is the line. I had -5.5. And you know what? Cleveland's, from a market psychology, you're waiting for them to revert to the old Cleveland Browns, right? I don't think so. I think Cleveland's the real deal here. -2 is the line, 40.5 is the total. And we do like Cleveland over Baltimore, 21.05, 19.1 the over-under at 40.21. So we do have this game going under the total. 57.02% chance of winning for the Browns compared to 50.9 for the Ravens, and I had the Raven at +7. Wow, so I did have them listed pretty high on the value index. Denver Broncos, man, I'll just leave that score right there. You can make up your own decision. 70-20, 90 points scored in a football game. That's unbelievable. That's like Texas Tech against Oklahoma Sooners or something, right? In the 80s or 90s. -3 is the line here for Denver. Wow, talk about only in the NFL you can get smoked by 70-20 and be a 3-point favorite next week against the Chicago Bears. 45.5 is the total, and we're going to lean with Denver in this one. 24.01, 20.7 the over-under at 44.7. And you know what? Just for fun and giggles, let's see what the calculator says on this one. Denver. All right, let's go to Denver against the Chicago Bears. And survey says, yeah, the away team 5.1 to 48.8. So it does like it to go over the total this Sunday at Soldier Field. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Houston Texans. Now the Texans off that big win in Jacksonville. So we'll see if they have a letdown spot here against the Steelers, who also won against the Raiders on Sunday Night Football. 23-18 was the final. Pittsburgh a 3-point road favorite against the Texans. 41.5 is the total. We're going to lean with the Steelers here. 23-21 the over-under at 45.1. So we do have it going under the total. Looking at the both these teams, Pittsburgh 2-1 on the season. Houston 1-2. And line value -9.2 I had for the Steelers, and you can see you're getting a discount -3. If you like Pittsburgh, take the money line. Minnesota taking on the Carolina Panthers. Panthers coming into this one as a 3.5-point home underdog. Right there where I had them on the value index. The Kogel in this game is at 67%. Kogel stands for chance of game going over the total. Panthers coming off a 37-27 loss to the Seahawks, while the Vikings, they lost to the LA Chargers 28-24. I don't know if Vikings are starting to look like an old team right now with Kirk Cousins. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They haven't yet to win a game this year. 0-3. Not the Vikings from last season. And we do have the Vikings, though, winning on the road, 24.5, 18.2, over-under at 42.8. So we'll see if that hook comes into play this weekend in Carolina. All right, the game of the week, you got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Bills a 3-point favorite. I had them listed at -4.07 on my value index. They're off a big win over Washington. 37-3 was the final. While the Dolphins, yeah, they put 70 on the Broncos. And we had the Bills winning by a field goal, 28.6, 25.5, the over-under, listed at 54.22. So we do like it to see this game go over the total. And we do give the Bills a 51.7% chance of winning over the Dolphins, who have a 48.2% chance on the Raymond Report. Law of average theory. Las Vegas Raiders taking on the LA Chargers. We got the Raiders winning this one. Actually, no, we got the Chargers winning this one as a 5-point favorite. 29-26, the over-under, landing on 55.7. 62.5% chance of winning for both these teams on the Cal. Cal stands for chances of winning. And looking at the line value, I had the Chargers at -4.3, and they're right there at 5. So fair market value if you like the Chargers this weekend at SoFi. Arizona off that big win over the Dallas Cowboys. They're in a prime letdown spot here. But you know what? When it comes to letdown and look ahead, that's more of a college thing in my view. But -13.5 is the line here. You know what? You beat the Cowboys, and you talk about this is the Rodney Dangerfield of football. They get no respect right here. -13.5, 43.5 is the total. And the ATS calculator, the ATS forecast likes San Francisco 26.7 to 14.3, the over-under at 41.07. And we're only going to give the Cardinals an 8% chance of winning. Man, talk about no respect. Dallas, a win over Dallas, and then you got the 49ers, who beat Pittsburgh in week 1. Then they win last week against the Giants, so 30-12 is the final. Who's the other game they played? That was it the Rams? Yeah, they beat the Rams too. So we'll see what happens this Sunday at Levi Stadium. 26-14 we have as the final. New England taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Cowboys, see how they bounce back at Jerry's house here. -7 is the line. I had -9.07, and you can see the totals at 42.5. ATS forecast system play. Going to lean with Dallas in this one. 27-18, the over-under at 45.6. So we do have it going over the total. And looking at the Dallas Cowboys, I had them at +5, and you're getting +7 for New England. Sorry, I mean New England at +5, and you're getting +7. So if you like the Patriots, man, if you got the stomach to do it, there you go. +7 is the line. Kansas City taking on the New York Jets. You know what? Had this, Aaron Rodgers been in the line, this would have been a great matchup, but we'll see what happens here at the MetLife Stadium this Sunday. Chiefs coming in off that big win, 41-10 over the Bears, and we got them winning here, 23-18, the over-under at 42.4. Kind of low for a total, but you know what? I do like this Jets defense. I think the Jets defense is a very good defense. Offensively, they got the wrench thrown into it with Rodgers out, so we'll see if Zach Wilson can handle the heat in New York. Seattle taking on the New York Giants. This is your Monday Night Football game of the week. You got the Seahawks coming off a 37-27 hard-fought win over Carolina. You know, this game was a little bit back and forth at the beginning, but the Seattle outlasted the Panthers, while the Giants, well, they never showed up for this one against the 49ers. 30-12 was the final, and we do, you know what, here's your warning signs were there, right? When they played Arizona and they had to come back to win that one 31-28. And what do you think was going to happen, right? -1 is the line for the Giants. You know what? -1. What's the bookmakers telling us? If the line was -1 Seattle, I think there'd be a flood of Seahawks bettors. I think this is a reason why when you look at the line, you look at -1 for the Giants. They're trying to make you think twice here about taking Seattle, right? Because if you put Seattle -1, what's your mindset, right? I had -1 also for the Giants, and I had +4 for the Seahawks in this one. And we got the Giants winning by a field goal, 23-20, the over-under at 44.29. So we do have this game staying under the total. And looking at the Giants, they have yet to cover the spread this year, while the Seahawks are on a 2-game straight-up NATS win streak. And Giants still coming in on 10 days rest, so something to consider. Maybe that's maybe an edge there if you like those days rest. I know my good friend does, Gil Melendez with Frogtown Sports. All right, here's your 80% Club stats, courtesy of the Raymond Report. And folks, you can get the Raymond Report today for only $4.99. That gives you access to the entire website, and you get it for 7 days, $19.99 for 30 days, and $99.99 for the year. And you get the entire key to the Cadillac, the penthouse, right here at ATSstats.com. And did you know when the Dallas Cowboys are a 7 to 9.5 point home favorite for a non-division game this season, or since 1996, they are 17-1 as a 7 to 9.5 home favorite before a non-division game. That goes back to 1996. That's good for 94%. The Kansas City Chiefs 15-1 as a 7 to 9.5 away favorite against an American Conference opponent. That's good for 93%. The Packers playing Thursday night against the Lions. They're 15-1 as a home team playing the month of September, the last 10 seasons. But no Aaron Rodgers the last 10 days. But yeah, that's probably the Aaron Rodgers years. 49ers 13-1 as a 10 or more home favorite coming off a homestand since 96. That's good for 92%. And let me go to a total. I thought I saw a total down here. The over 10-1 for the Buccaneers as they pick them to +3 away underdog before a conference game last 10 season. And they're 10-1 to the over. And they're playing, New Orleans? I thought I saw it was New Orleans, right? The Bills 10-1 as a home team coming off back-to-back ATS wins the last 7 years. That's good for 90.9%. I do like the Bills this weekend, but I know what you guys are thinking. But Ron, you're a Bills fan, so you're a homer. No, I bet with my wallet, not my heart. And I do like the Bills this weekend. All right, there you have it, folks. That is the ATS Raymond Report NFL podcast today. Today is a Wednesday, September 27th. And don't get me in October yet. Then we'll be in hockey and NBA, which is right around the corner. But have yourself a great NFL week number 4. And don't forget to come and kick the tires today at ATSstats.com. Good luck.